So my name is Laura van Huller. I am the artistic director of Van Huller Dance Theatre, and I'm also obviously a human being. And I want to talk a little bit about how the coronavirus has affected me. So when it first started, I lost all my work instant. Not lost it, but everything got cancelled and possibly moved forwards. However, in our industry, that means very much things get cancelled, and particularly when work gets moved forward financially. That means that becomes then a gap period because everything gets moved forwards. So first, that was kind of the first initial effect. And then I started talking a lot to people, a lot of different people that I haven't spoken to a long way for a long time. So I realized like, oh, okay, there's a lot of people that are there to talk to, and a lot of people that want to talk to, and that want to help each other. Particularly because we all of a sudden fell in the same kind of a gap. So. Yeah, so that was how has my practice and business has changed for now. Because like, for example, with Art Council, we cannot apply for certain funds now that were normally available, but now that all got cancelled because Art Council came up with an amazing module that they will try and support companies and artists and independent artists, which comes out on Tuesday. So I don't know what that means yet exactly. So at the moment, this week, we're all living in an uncertainty financially, and then particularly on a business point of view. However, on a creative level, I think it's really good, and I think on an artistic level, I think it's really good to be able to have a standstill, to look at this world, and to actually focus and back focus on the practice and not on like there's no distraction. Like I have been home for 1 week and I've been training every single day, and I've been talking to my friend about art every day, and it feels like really genuine conversation. So artistically, it's been really liberating in many ways. I just had some rice biscuit. How will I move on from this? Well, you just take it as a learning, and you just take it actually as new information. And I think our role as artists are redefined. Like, it's like, what is an artist here to do? We are here to make change, to notice change, to be with change, to write history, or to capture history, and not to try and fix it into systems and often away from systems. So I think it's actually a really good time for art to happen. I mean, I have been teaching online classes. I have offered for 6 weeks long a stretch class as well as a contemporary class on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and on Sundays at 2 p.m. because I feel actually it's a really good time to share without a business strategic. It's a good time to and maybe I'm lucky that at the moment I still can do that. Some people, they still have to kind of sale pitch their stuff online, which I also understand, but I also understand some people really don't have any money, so they may want to have classes for free. So there was kind of a duality of me, what do I do? Or do I charge? So it's like, but it's a good moment to question why we do what we do and how we do what we do, and how are we going to capture this time. And obviously the corona has given us, as much as it took away a lot of opportunity, it also has given us an opportunity, because where there's always a positive and a negative. When the battery is there, there's always a negative and a positive side. As long we're alive, that you can find the pros and the cons and everything. So for sure, I also wake up some days really down and like, oh my God, like, I mean, I'm from Belgium, I live on my own, I have a beautiful cat. But yeah, at times it's really tough, for sure. At times I'm like, and then my friend Jack calls me in the morning, and makes me really happy, because every day he checks in with me. And like, he will call me in the morning and say, oh, I'm gonna start yoga now. And he sits there with his cup of tea, and then I sit there on the other side with my cup of coffee. And then we are saying, oh, because we cannot keep fitness. Like, it's silly things, that the little things, that the little check-ins of people, and particularly my friend Jack, like he checks in 2 or 3 times a day. We're checking in what we've been up to and what have our discoveries been. And it's quite amazing because I feel for the first time I'm actually living in my house, like I'm living in it. I'm not facilitating or using it. And I think that's again a really amazing discovery, that I'm not just using something, that I'm living something. And as a performer and as a dancer and as a director and as a human being, we have to live things. And often I feel we just catch the surface of things. But actually to really live something, you got to be there for a while. You got to sit in it for a while. So I think it's a great opportunity to go deeper for humanity, actually. To do self-work. And if you do the self-work, actually if you do the true self-work, this can actually come out and expand much easier rather than looking for the work outside of us. But if you go from within, everything on the outside can start shifting quicker too, because people notice. Have you made any new connections or business models? I don't want to call it business models, because that word always even when I do my company, business models and connections, it's always a word particularly when business comes into it, because I find it a very different mindset. But connections, new ones, yeah. Not really new ones, but maybe some stronger ones, yeah. And I always feel a sense of connection. I'm on my own, but I don't feel on my own. And sometimes I do feel on my own, because physically I like to be with people and I like to touch people and I like to be touched by people because I'm a dancer. But I have been teaching on Zoom, and I mean, I can send it. There is something about being able to send it through the camera, like beyond that screen. I mean, I could be watching myself on the screen and look how I look, but I can also really send a message, I guess. Anyway, I talk a lot. What am I doing to survive? I just do what I love. Not much has changed. That is going to sound ridiculous, but actually it makes me realize I really love what I do. It makes me realize what I do, I can always do. I will always find a way to do it. And it's my external world has changed quite severely, but my inside, the essence, kind of is still there, and that is what keeps me going. So, and that, I guess that's why I'm able to adjust for now. I mean, obviously, if I have corona, I don't have the disease, so I'm really lucky for now. Touch wood. So yeah, what am I doing to survive? I mean, I'm lucky that I've been quite okay with financially to support myself for now, for the next month or so. And I saw also the English government has put some systems into place, so that gives us all hope as well. And I have amazing people that support me on the outside too. So yeah, I'm staying positive, and I'm talking very much about the me perception. And I know there's so much more out there. There's so much more out there that that people need to. Sorry, that's like a few pings and pongs. There's so much more out there, like that is happening, that I cannot go and help. And even if I did help, I feel my duty is now to do what the government says, and if my help is needed, that will come. And I will do the little bits I can as an artist, teach Zoom classes, do what I do, and hopefully that will add or contribute somehow to society. Yeah, I hope these questions are answered.